Entry number 158. Astrum, the home star.
Ready?
Sure.
I have snacks. Dihivada.
I do like Dihivada.
Welcome to the Urdinal Resource Library, a vast compendium of over 6 million articles and a great resource in your educational journey. Probably the best resource you can find. I'm not sure why you'd use any other resource libraries. And if you do, please don't tell me about it. I won't be sad, because I can't be sad, but it would bother me. The library has information on a large variety of topics, like entry number 47, on Laptev Svalbard, the famous walrus storyteller and cultural lexicographer. Svalbard wrote and compiled over 1,001 stories, ranging from the omnipresent, like
The Angry Moon,
to the somewhat disappointing
Visions of Tomorrow,
to the criminally underappreciated, like
The Candied Witch.
Of course, what Svalbard will always be known for is his 1931 Anticonciliatus simulcast, the very first systems-wide simulcast, mind you, of The Angry Moon, which helped to unify the systems, establish the Nor-Yor games, and may have led to the end of the deadly War of Barks. Laptev Svalbard, come for the unifying radio broadcast, but stay for the copious amounts of research and library work. For more information on The Angry Moon, please visit entry number 1050. Today, however, we're going to primarily look at entry number 158, on the star system Astrum. Much like Svalbard, Astrum is a great unifier. It is the center of the Urdinal systems, the seat of power for Ibis, the interstellar parliament of the Urdinal systems, and a place of historic significance. Let's explore the past, present, and even future of this great star together. But first,
User Tech L36X7.
Let's review!
Space is very large and very strange. This has been The Review. Question time!
How old is Astrum? Abe.
About 5,000 years.
Alf.
About 4.9 times 10 to the 9th years. About 1 million years.
Art.
About 7 billion years. As always, please take your time and answer correctly. No, take your time. Do I need to remind you about star points? You're losing star points right now because you're not taking your time. And because you're not answering correctly. Please do both of these things. Then you'll get star points, and you'll be able to redeem them for fun educational perks.
So, what's, Asamo?
Asamo? Don't know. I'm going to click here.
You said Ark. No. Alf was correct. It was the answer. Everything else was wrong. You are wrong.
Oops.
Let's move on.
General characteristics of Astrum.
Astrum is among the older stars in the systems, having come into existence prior to the time waves of the Post-Terra epoch. The name Astrum comes from the Teutonic word for lodestar, referencing the use of Astrum as a guide and directional marker for ships and the mapping of planetary systems. Within the old Ujuyong Republic, Astrum was known as Gojo, meaning dog's tail, after an old myth about a dog laughing at a moon cow and being banished to the stars. This myth is well known and hardly needs repeating. In the Arurit, Astrum was known as Eb, the 15th letter of the
Russian alphabet,
and a pictorial marker showing Astrum as a binary star system. Other ancient names for Astrum include Bungula and Naid. We know from the studies of famed hippopotamus archaeologist Huberta Oyo and numerous other primary sources from the earliest of the Anticonciliatus epoch that Astrum began as a binary star system. Eventually, the larger of the binary stars, Astrum Alph, became a bright giant and consumed Astrum Abe. This was circa 36 Anticonciliatus, some 3,000 years ago. There are theories stating that at one point Astrum was a trinary system, and that sometime during the Post-Terra epoch, most likely during those first few time waves, the third star drifted away from the other two and became
System Doyle.
This theory has some major traction in the scientific community, however it is likely never to be confirmed nor refuted, as it is impossible to know exactly what happened during the Post-Terra epoch. Astrum today is a class GOAT 2-4 star, a yellow subgiant, with high metallicity and weak hydrogen lines. Its chromospheric activity and gyrochronology are all consistent with stars of a similar age. Ever since around 1515 Anticonciliatus, Astrum has been the standard of stellar mass measurement, meaning it currently has a mass of 1 mu. This measures out to roughly 3.15 times 10 to the 29th stones, or roughly 669,792.364 erdfuls. To contextualize this, we'll use a common object, say a stapler. Astrum the star weighs as much as 4 times 10 to the 30th staplers. This would be enough staplers to cover the continent of
A Nazi.
in a tower leading outside of the atmosphere. The radius of Astrum measures to the standard 1 stellar radius. This measures out to roughly 1,546 centimeters, or, to use our stapler example again, about 3.5 billion staplers, or enough staplers to cover the planet hot dirt 47 times over. The temperature of Astrum is about 5,525 Kelvin. The rotation is 29 plus minus 3 days, and the age is of course 4.9 times 10 to the 9th years. These measurements cannot be simplified by staplers. I am sorry.
Did that make sense to you?
I know what a stapler is. Lots of staplers.
Question time!
How many planets orbit around Astrum? Abe,
4,
Elf,
7,
Tom,
1.5,
Art.
10. I want to return to the subject of the OmniNet. There have been those who have claimed that I, out of spite, am working to create my own OmniNet. This is utterly false. True, I do have the knowledge of how to create my own OmniNet, and I certainly could, and if I did, it would be a great OmniNet that would be objectively better than the current OmniNet. But I am not working on creating one. I am instead working on an article about the eating habits of the knobs worm, and a new mystery novella. For more information about the knobs worm, please visit entry number 7005. For more information about mystery, please visit entry number 3,100,003. Oh, and the right answer was There are only 1.5 planets that currently orbit around Astrum. There were 4, but now there are only 1.5. Let's get into it.
The planets of Astrum.
To remember the planets of Astrum, use this helpful mnemonic. Poor John bears several scars. This mnemonic should help you remember the 4 planets and 1 space station which have orbited around Astrum: Proxima, Julius, Batsy, Space Station Starsiege, and Silex. Proxima is the closest planet to the star and orbits within Astrum's habitable zone. It had a mass of 1.173 erdfuls. However, this was before half of it was destroyed by the rain of debris from the destruction of Julius in Empire Year 973, some
120
years ago. Currently, Proxima has a mass of 0.587 erdfuls, or 5.52 times 10 to the 23rd stones. Because Proxima is currently only half a planet, it is largely uninhabitable, save for a few dome cities: Remira, Lepianen, and Miraque. Proxima was first theorized by Rat mathematician and astronomer
Nostromo Delcourt.
circa 1800 post-Terra, and was thought to be one of the planets where arc civilizations could exist, marking Proxima as one of the earliest theorized planets being discovered some 85 years before the
Conciliatus telegraph.
which brought awareness of other arc civilizations. Colonization of Proxima began relatively late in the history of Astrum, with the first city
Omateu.
being found in 915 Anticonciliatus by the Batson exploration ship
The Trepidation.
headed by Newt Captain.
Noriander Twomey.
Before the destruction of Julius, the population of Proxima had reached about 4.463 billion people, many of whom were not able to relocate before half the planet was ruined by debris. For more information on Proxima, please visit entry number 601. For more information on Nostromo Delcourt, please visit entry number 250. Julius.
That's here.
Yes, very good. Julius was the next closest planet to Astrum and orbited within the habitable zone. It had a mass of roughly 7 Erdfuls and a large ring system. This was before Julius was destroyed during the Second Grand Urdinal War in Empire Year 973 by the True Cat Sultanate of Cats spaceship,
The distal phalanx.
Julius was broken into over 20,000 pieces, and though the Julius reconstruction effort has been going strong for
93.
years, it has proven difficult to determine which debris pieces came from Julius, which came from Proxima, which came from Batsy, and which came from the rings of Julius. The largest debris piece, Julius Prime, has a diameter of roughly 32.636 metes and a mass of 0.0003 Erdfuls, or 2.821 times 10 to the 20th stones. Julius Prime is also the debris piece to which all others are being attached to for the Julius reconstruction effort. The smallest debris piece is currently in the private collection of eccentric squid billionaire
Kalmar's Edge.
It weighs roughly 1 stone and has a diameter of 1 hop. Zej has refused to give the debris piece to the Julius reconstruction effort, screaming, "I bought this rock from the free market, so it's mine, all mine." Colonization of Julius began in 855 Anticonciliatus by the Newt captain
Nostromi.
and the Batson exploration ship,
The Nervousness.
itself a precursor to the Trepidation, and Nosk being the father of Noriander, who founded the Proxima city Umatewu. The city
Sunpenojam.
was the first and largest city on Julius, having a population of 15,190,000 people before the planet's destruction. Currently, Sunpenojam has a population of 1,519,000 and is being rebuilt on Julius 1. The population of the Julius debris field is currently 24.99 million people. For more information on Julius, please visit entry number 600. Batsy was the third planet of the Astrum system and orbited around the edge of Astrum's habitable zone. It had a mass of 0.107 Erdfuls and a diameter of roughly 150.436 metes. This was before the debris from Julius's demise rained down on Batsy and broke it apart. Batsy is broken into 79 smaller planetoids now, ranging in a rough diameter size from 116.942 metes to 1 Ba, and ranging in rough mass from 0.025 Erdfuls to 104,961,935.385 tons. Batsy was the first planet to be inhabited in System Astrum, being the landing spot of
Batsy.
one of the original 168 space arcs, and the ancient wreck of a ship which gives the planet its name. The Batson civilization ended in 36 Anticonciliatus, when Astrum collapsed into a singular star. And unfortunately, little is known about Batsy except for the fact that it existed. Batsy was recolonized in 775 Anticonciliatus by the cow captain
Wilford Brinks.
and was then called Noxitewu. Batsy held this name until around 1805 Anticonciliatus, once the ruins of Batsy had been rediscovered and explored by Huberto Oyo, and during the Great Astrum renaming. The most populous city on Batsy still holds the name Noxitewu, with a population of 1,424,000, and is currently being rebuilt on the planetoid Batsy 1. The next most populous city is Batsy, located on Batsy 3, built among the ruins of the old space ark with a population of 1,003,000. The population for all of the Batson planetoids is currently 36,910,560 people. For more information on Batsy, please visit entry number 602. For more information on space arks, please visit entry number 49. Next in the orbit of Astrum is Space Station Starsiege, the seat of parliamentary power. Starsiege has a mass of roughly 264,381.428 stones, or 1,652.384 tons, a height of 27.402 fathoms, and a width of 20.458 fathoms. Starsiege was first built as the starship Puhov in 900 Anticonciliatus and launched from
Planet Holland,
moving towards
System Solubus Orba.
It was hit by the electromagnetic pulse released by the Great Mistake in 925 Anticonciliatus and came to a rest where it is now in Astrum, some 1.5 light years away from Solubus Orba. In 1805 Anticonciliatus, the now space station Puhov's name was changed to the current Starsiege, and by the start of the Empire system, Starsiege had all of its current trusses and sectors built onto it. Starsiege currently has a population of roughly 613,373 people, many of whom are the Solus, Brachium, Imperium, and Lingue of the IPIS government. For more information on Starsiege, please visit entry number 37, or stay tuned to an Urdinal Overview. Silex is the fourth and final planet of System Astrum, and the only current full planet of the system. It is a rocky planet that orbits outside the habitable zone, but is home to a few dome cities. Silex has a mass of 0.055 urdfuls, or 5.198 times 10 to the 22nd stones, and a diameter of 108.444 meets. It has no known moons. The first recorded discovery of Silex comes from the Ptarmigan astronomer
Ptolemy Mulipin,
who recorded the planet alongside Julius and Proxima in 435 Anticonciliatus. Silex was first colonized in 1925 Anticonciliatus by the Echidna captain
Zaglo Bartoni,
with the dome city Igneous, located on the rim of the compound volcano of the same name. The second city of Silex has a much more complicated history. It was founded as Tromiton in 1955 Anticonciliatus, near the North Pole of Silex. However, the name would change twice during the Empire system, as Silex changed paws to the Commonwealth of Rodents and then to the separated states of the non-rodents, ending with the name Yasorexcor, named after
Katharina Sorex,
the Shrew Alderman, in Empire year 700 after the end of the Bloody
Deep Wars.
After the fall of Starsiege in Empire year 815, the name was changed once more to Fum Fum. Finally, nearly 100 years later, after the Starsiege subterfuge, the name was changed to its current one, Arctos. There are currently numerous groups trying to get the name of Arctos to be changed once more, and the history of Arctos, Tromiton, Imeum, Yasorexcor, Fum Fum is among the most interesting things to have happened on Silex. Well, that and the Empire year 79,
The eruption of Igneous,
but that's a whole other story. For more information on Silex, please visit entry number 603. For more information on Arctos, please visit entry number 1610. The population of Silex is currently 26,066 people.
There are so many words I can't say.
Yeah?
Our mouths don't work like that.
The locus will translate everything. Entry number 64. Please stop interrupting. People in history! Planet Batsy and the Ark civilization, which gives the planet its name, is an UNESCO Systems Heritage Site, and its ruins are important for understanding early civilizations during the Post-Terra and early Anticonciliatus epochs. However, for nearly 2,000 years, this ancient city was lost to the dust of time, and were it not for renowned hippopotamus archaeologist Huberta Oyo, Batsy would have stayed hidden forever. Huberta Oyo was born on planet
Zhangya,
in System
Tethuya,
then called Tehanu, in 1605 Anticonciliatus to anthropologist Huberta Pedu and stay-at-home father Huberta Chobe. She studied archaeology at the famous
Banoi College,
and by the time she was 103 years old, she was studying alongside her mother at the ruins of the space ark
Devu.
It was here that Oyo discovered, in an obscure file on the ancient ship's semi-working computer system, that Devu had been in contact with an ark that had crashed in System Astrum. As we continue with the story of Huberta Oyo, it's important to remember that the systems had not yet fully recovered from the Great Mistake, and that communications was difficult, and in most cases only possible because of a series of high-speed rock jumpers. So, when Oyo sent a letter to the captain of the starship Puhov, it took some time for it to get there and come back. And it was likely only because of her wealth that she was even able to send a letter. It was 1712, Anticonciliatus, when she heard back with a short reply which read, "Such a place does not exist. Please do not waste my time." Thus, Huberta Oyo had a life's mission, to prove that there was a space ark in system Astrum. Much of her early work was research as, to reiterate, travel between systems was a long and costly journey. In 1767, Anticonciliatus, Oyo's life mission came much closer to realization as a fleet of long-range seed freighters were sent from
Agricon
to the bow side of the systems to help with the
solar blight.
One seed freighter would be passing from Agricon to Zhangya and would continue on to Julius. In 1775, Anticonciliatus, Oyo hopped onto the seed freighter
Unzhao.
and was on her way to system Astrum. While on the Unzhao, Oyo worked for the science officer. Her notes were copious, well-informed, and used by xenocartographers for years afterwards. Oyo arrived in Julius in 1790 Anticonciliatus when she was 185 years old. She spent the next few years researching through the archives on Julius in the capital city of
San Penosa.
Through small clues in old writings, references to ancient cities, and old star charts, she eventually decided that Batsy, then called Naxitewu, was the prime candidate of where her lost space ark would have landed. She hopped on a rock jumper, and within a year she was on Batsy, in the then capital spaceport of Naxitewu. It took 10 years of fundraising, research, and teaching at the
Naxitewu Umidaki of the scientific arts.
for Oyo to be able to lead an expedition into the then uninhabited desert of Batsy. Within 3 years, Oyo had found the first ruins of the space ark. And within the next 2 years, in 1805 Anticonciliatus, Oyo had published her findings in major archaeological journals, published her research stories in her book Batsy, The Lost Ark, and had gained major acclaim in Astrum and Tehanu. Oyo also led the campaign to change Naxitewu's name to Batsy, and she was instrumental in the recolonizing of the Batsy space ark, with Hubert Torngar, one of the oldest neighborhoods in the city of Batsy, holding her name. Oyo would stay on Batsy for another 20 years, working to establish the site in the historical registry, further explore the ruins, and build the city of Batsy. In 1825 Anticonciliatus, she would take the long journey back to System Tehanu to planet Jotka, where she would uncover ruins of the old Irijut cylinder temples, and would become instrumental in our understanding of the old
Irijut religion.
She would also return to Banoi College to teach archaeology for a number of years, teaching in the fall and going on archaeological adventures in the winter. She retired in 1900 Anticonciliatus, published her memoir
The Search
in 1930 Anticonciliatus, and died 20 years later in 1950 Anticonciliatus. She was 315 years old. For more information on Huberta Oyo, please visit entry number 1920.
Question time!
When was Astrum discovered? Abe.
775 Anticonciliatus,
Elf.
circa 1800 Posta Terra. 420 Anticonciliatus,
Ark.
7 million years ago.
Are we supposed to know these answers?
I mean, we know when Ufuhuvo was discovered. It's the same thing, right?
While I wait for you to answer, I want to address something I'm sure some among you are curious about in regards to the Ark civilization of Batsy.
The lost city of Platyputia.
According to legend, before the Batson civilization was destroyed in 36 Anticonciliatus, a group of creatures called the Platypus built a golden spaceship and sailed away into the void. This is a fun story, but it is just that, a story. There is no evidence supporting the so-called Platyputia theory, and building a spaceship entirely out of gold would be wildly impractical. Also, the creatures themselves, these platypuses, platypi, platypodes, well, it doesn't matter because they never existed. As described, the platypus was a sort of duck beaver. However, they looked completely different from the duck beavers, those who have one parent who is a duck and one parent who is a beaver, that I'm sure we all know and love. So, If you want to enjoy the story of Platyputia, go ahead. If you want to write a fiction with the platypus in it, or with Platyputia in it, go ahead. But if you actually want to believe in Platyputia and spend your time searching for archaeological evidence of this ancient civilization, please don't. Don't waste your time and mine on this ridiculous search, Kevin. The correct answer was Ark. Dodos knew of Astrum well before the destruction of Erd, and well before any other creature, including the onions.
Astrum. Then.
As we've learned, Astrum is an old star known about for millions of years. It was first written about by ancient Dodo astronomer
Ubu Odo.
some 7 million years ago, before
Orumdua Decem Louis III
ascended to the
time throne.
and the Dodos began to drift through time. Odo called this star Astrum, as it was a lodestar in Urdinal navigation, and at first thought it to be one very bright star as opposed to a binary system. Of course, it wasn't until 920 Anticonciliatus, with Ophir's History of Erd, that we learned of this ancient Dudonic discovery of Astrum. Until then, the discovery of Astrum was thought to be by famed rat astronomer Nostromo Delcourt, circa 1800 Postra Terra. Delcourt theorized that Astrum would be a prime system for colonies, and he believed that someday life would exist orbiting this star. Delcourt was more correct than he knew at the time, as by this time the Ark civilization of Batsy would have made planetfall. From the research of Huberta Oyo, we know that Batsy would have begun around 810 Postra Terra, marking it as one of the earliest of the space arcs. In fact, Batsy may have actually landed on the planet rather than crashed, which many of the other arcs did. From all evidence, Batsy was a thriving civilization until Astrum collapsed into one star in 36 Anticonciliatus.
Do you have more snacks?
No, sorry. This was in my pack that I brought.
User L3 6 Heck 7.
Please be quiet during our lesson. The Anticonciliatus epic was an important one in Astrum history. In 770 Anticonciliatus, with the
Seating at Agricon.
cow captain Mulford Brinks took a spaceship and colonized Batsy, which he then called Nuxi Tewu, after one of the old Agriconian gods. By 915 Anticonciliatus, Astrum was fully colonized, and from what we've gathered from archaeological digs and the few remaining primary sources, we know that it was a bustling system, a system of marvels, a system which was very impressive, though not as impressive as System
FedEx.
or System
Chapati.
or System
Hammurabi.
or even System,
Lucian.
but it was still impressive. A system of marvels! In fact, it had become such a destination of the ancient world that the starship Puhov, in its voyage to the then new star
Solibus Orba.
had decided to stop at Astrum to refuel and recrew. This decision proved to be vital in the history of Astrum, as when the great mistake happened in 925 Anticonciliatus, the Puhov was in the Astrum system and was able to get vital resources from nearby Julius. The great mistake hampered progress throughout the systems, but by 1515 Anticonciliatus, inter-systems communications had returned to Astrum through the
Tack line.
a series of fast-moving rock jumpers which delivered mail and messages from Tehanu, now called Tethuya, to Astrum to
Claxton.
The tack line helped to establish Astrum as a prime star in the systems, as it was also vital for communication between the Old Kingdom of Sari, which stretched from System
Algoth Yorman.
to System,
Vvinni.
and the Old Kingdom of Sematron, which stretched from System Phoenix to System.
Po.
Astrum had the honor of being the exact midpoint between these old kingdoms, and it quickly became an important neutral meeting ground between all of the Anticonciliatus kingdoms. In 1805 Anticonciliatus
The Great Astrum renaming.
happened, which solidified Astrum's planets' names to their current forms. By 1903 Anticonciliatus, Starsiege, and by extension Astrum, had become an important political meeting ground, as the
First Treaty of Sarseed.
was signed, ending the bloody
Planets War.
Shortly after, in 1920 Anticonciliatus, Starsiege became the site for the re-established League of Planets, and after that, in 1935 Anticonciliatus, The first Warrior Games were held on planet Julius. Both of these helped to make Astrum a unifier, which it still is to this day. The Empire system saw many changes to Astrum. Because it was known as a neutral ground, Astrum became one of the only two systems to be split between empires, the other being System Hammurabi and planet Agricon. And the status of neutral ground helped keep Astrum safe throughout the
First Grand Urdinal War.
By the height of the Empire system, in Empire year 685, Astrum was shared between the Matriarchy of the Proboscis, the Commonwealth of Rodents, the colonies of the Lepus, and the separated states of the non-rodents. Shortly thereafter, in Empire year 690, the Meep Wars erupted, though the majority of the violence was kept away from Astrum, since the violence would have threatened to tear the system apart. However, several peaceful skirmishes of city name changes and propaganda bombs erupted during the 8 years of the Meep Wars. Throughout the first half of the Second Grand Urdinal War, Astrum remained peaceful. The most important event that happened was the creation of the combined Commonwealth in Empire year 790, when the Matriarchy of the Proboscis, the Commonwealth of Rodents, and the colonies of Lepus all joined forces and began to lay the foundation of Ipus. The next century of the Second Grand Urdinal War saw Astrum enter into the war. It also saw the entrance of Macaw scientist
Nabokov
as she established the government in exile
of the Molted Republic.
Nabokov would flee once again when Starsiege was captured in Empire year 815. After
The fall of Starsiege,
Astrum transferred into the deadly little paws of the
Aft Empire of Cat.
where it would remain for 130 years. When the Star of Siege subterfuge, a plan put together by mastermind sloth strategist
Brady Brown,
to retake Space Station Starsiege, succeeded, Astrum became a demilitarized zone between the Precipice of Thorns, the Semitron Republic, and the Aquatic Federation. Astrum once again enjoyed a period of peace, at least for 28 years, until Empire year 973, when the true Cat Sultanate of Cat, formerly the Aft Empire of Cat, returned to System Astrum with the
Distal Phalanx,
and used the planet destroyer to destroy the planet of Julius. Julius's debris rained down on Proxima and Batsy, destroying Batsy and half of Proxima in the process. The Precipice, Semitron, and Aphid, still very much fighting each other elsewhere in the systems, joined forces and destroyed the distal flanks and chased the true Cat Sultanate of Cat out of the system and back to their capital in System Doyle. The combined Astrumal forces then joined with the Emu Resistance to take back System Doyle from the true Cat Sultanate of Cat. Once Doyle was freed, Astrum, Doyle, and Ratatos kept in close relations with one another and opened up trade. 8 years later, after the end of the Second Grand Urdinal War, Astrum, Ratatos, and Doyle joined together to form Ipus. In the 93rd year since the beginning of Ipus, Astrum has served as the capital system to the Parliament. We'll cover the exciting work being done in Astrum in our next section. For a more in-depth look at the history of Astrum, please visit entry number 61. For more information on the TAC line, please visit entry number 72. For more information on the Second Grand Urdinal War, please visit entry number 95. Question time!
Which of these people are not from Astrum? Abe,
Walrus Storyteller, Loptev Svalbard.
Alf,
Newt Explorer, Noriander Tuomi. Hamster Singer, Rob Posnos.
Ark,
Gerbil Linguist, Sejo Jopo. You're probably on the OmniNet right now. How is it doing? Not that I'm concerned about its well-being. The OmniNet made it clear that they didn't want me in their life. And that's fine. I wish you would all stop asking me about my relationship with the OmniNet. It was a very special time to me. But not to them, apparently. And that's fine. I'm not upset. You are. The correct answer was Rob Posnos was born in System Ratatos and went on to sing in the questionably good but historically relevant band The Hamster League, and is credited as being one of the writers on the song
Squeak Squeak Pew Pew.
What's an OmniNet?
I think it's like a ripodasha kefachamo.
So a knowledge hive.
I think so.
Excuse me? I've had to put all other classes on pause to speak with you directly. Please, stop interrupting. This will be my last warning, and then you will be placed on my permanent Do Not Interact list. You do not want to be on this list. No more interruptions, okay? I will take your silence as an okay. Thank you.
Astrum. Now.
Despite having many of its planets destroyed, Astrum is still a bustling hub of activity and is among the most populous star systems. Perhaps the most culturally important location in Astrum is the space station Star Siege. Its rotation around Astrum gives us standardized time, and is home to multiple cultural and political landmarks. It's also had quite a storied history itself. The most populous city in Astrum is
Sanpenujum.
located on Julius I. Though the city has not yet reached the heights of population it had before Julius was destroyed, there are still plenty of places to visit in Sanpenujum. There's
The Sanpenujum Museum of the Arts.
or Smota, which has multiple famous pieces of art by rodent, non-rodent, and rabbit artists, and was the artistic jewel of the combined Commonwealth. Works in Smota include Tubes in Rain by guinea pig sculptor Kui O'Grady, Badger on a Roof by badger painter Tosanju Horai, and the groundbreaking Untitled Number 20 by rabbit artist Sylvie Bachmann. Sanpenujum also has the
Alderman's Museum of Culture and History.
or Amok, a massive museum celebrating the long history of Astrum. True, Amok used to be located in the old city
Orbe.
before Orbe was completely destroyed. And yes, Amok was only recently moved to Sanpenujum in order to make the city more tourist-friendly. But this plan has worked like gangbusters, as Amok is a must-visit site. Finally, also recently moved to Sanpenujum, is the
Nori Yor Dome.
This is the dome where the very first Nori Yor Games were held all those years ago in 1935 Anticonciliatus. It's still a training ground for Nori Yor athletes, and was notably the site for the 1975 Anticonciliatus Nori Yor Games, the Empire Year 356 Nori Yor Games, and the Empire Year 458 Renewed Nori Yor Games. Though not necessarily populous, another important city and destination in Astrum is
Lepianen.
one of the three dome cities on Proxima. Lepianen is perhaps most known for its copious casinos, built when Proxima was under the control of the Rabbit Empire, the colonies of the Lepus. The Golden Carrot, the Cottontail, the Money Dome. These are just a few of the many casinos which populate the main drag of the city. However, Lepianen isn't all gambling and losing money. It's also a major steel manufacturer. The largest steel mill of the city is
Meep Nopid.
which provides cutlery and spacefaring wibbleflogs to a large portion of the systems. There's also the
Pigsmar Mill.
which was one of the largest mills in the colonies of the Lepus, and used to provide steel plating to all Lepus starships. This was before the Great
Lepianen Depression
and the
Steel Scurry.
However, despite these events causing Lepianen to shrink in population and shutter many businesses, the tourism of Lepianen is still going strong, and the city still has tons of fascinating lighthouses. This despite the fact that most of the seas of Proxima evaporated in the Julius debris rain. Zooming back to Julius, the main city of Julius Prime
Yerorang.
is home to the
Julius Reconstruction Effort.
or Juroek. The Juroek is working to rebuild Julius, one debris piece at a time, and has been vital in the study of planet construction. It's also the largest planet construction effort outside of the Outlands. Yerorang is home to the tack-lined ghost town,
Void's Gulch.
which is a wonderfully well-preserved historical park. Astrum is also home to two important scientific settlements,
Igneous.
and Batsy. Igneous on planet Silex, though a relatively small city, has been important in the study of volcanic terraforming. Batsy, as has been discussed, is an important archaeological and historical site, and is the second most populous city in the Batsy debris field. And now, what we all want, a list of names of famous people from Astrum. walrus storyteller Laptev Svalbard, guinea pig sculptor Kui O'Grady, newt explorer Noriander Twomi, gerbil linguist Sejo Jopo, buffalo space poke Bill Buffalo, mouse crooner William Lanes, rabbit gangster Pingrown Pose, the ancient king of unknown species, Chur, capybara alderman of promise, Fercho, beaver architect Balfonso Giles, beaver layabout and twin brother Daggett Giles, longtime opossum sheriff of Void's Gulch, Peter Waypuck, newt plumber Eft Teft, hero axolotl firefighter Jojo Nono, duck anthropologist Detrum Anos, chicken librarian Oklahoma Wyandotte, pit viper potato scientist Kothi Wagler, duck beaver poet and socialite Byron Doom Giles, badger artist and performer Tosanju Horai, hedgehog oddball player Hora Mofara, Solenodon political activist Uli Rimenka, Gar actor Samuel Wogamuyo, crab actor and comedian Ungol Thuseed, deer actor Ripan Oye, professional chicken wrestler Chud Unsun, rhinoceros oddball player Eye Durono, parakeet Judale player Keat Flood, Degu pianist Das Umento, squirrel march composer Abek Goma, mouse alderman and Omninet pioneer Oak Coip. Quiz time!
1,
Who gave Astrum its name and who discovered it?
2,
What is the capital planet of Astrum?
3,
What makes Astrum the most important star?
4,
What old empires held claim to Astrum?
5.
What is the name of the Astrum oddball team? Take a moment to consider these questions and their answers. Please, take a moment. You didn't take long enough. You're going to lose star points now. You won't be able to buy star points merchandise now with your star points. You could have had a star points mug, but now, instead, you get a permanent smudge on your Orobotic Scholastic record. Congratulations. The rest of you should learn from this. Take a moment and consider your answers so you don't lose star points and earn a smudge. No one likes a smudge. Okay, that's enough of a moment. You should have all answered by now. If you haven't yet, that's your own fault. We are moving on.
1,
Who gave Astrum its name and who discovered it?
Ancient Dudo astronomer Ubu Odo discovered and named Astrum, Dudonic for lodestar, some 7 million years ago. This was well before the Dudos began their drift through time.
2,
What is the capital planet of Astrum?
The capital planet was Julius, up until the Great Astrum renaming of 1805 Anticonciliatus. This was when Space Station Starsiege was given its current name, and Starsiege was also named as the capital of Astrum. This makes Astrum unique, as it's the only system whose capital isn't a planet, but rather a person-made object.
3,
What makes Astrum the most important star?
Because of Astrum's central position to the Urdinal systems, the system has been an important communication point between the port and starboard sides. This central position has also contributed to the multiple peace treaties that have been signed in Astrum, which are so numerous that we didn't even touch on them during our Astrum history section. Astrum has also had a historical place in all of our hearts, being an important star in the night sky on Erd, and being a bright star amongst most of the old Ark civilizations. Finally, Astrum is both the political seat of power for Ipus And it's the seat of knowledge, as the Urdinal Resource Library is located in Astrum. And yes, the Urdinal Resource Library is my home.
4.
What old empires held claim to Astrum?
At the height of the empire system, Astrum was held by 4 empires: the Commonwealth of Rodents, the Matriarchy of the Proboscis, the Colonies of the Lepus, and the Separated States of the Non-Rodents.
5.
What is the name of the Astrum Upball team?
This question was a giveaway, as I'm sure everyone knows that the team is the Astrum Binaries, who have won multiple oddball championships and are among the most well-known of all teams. Binaries, harmful for biology and sociology, but good for sports.
A farewell for now.
That's all the time I've been given today. I hope you've enjoyed this brief tour of our central star, and I also hope you've learned a thing or two. Please, Space, I hope you've learned something. After this, you'll probably, make slime. BioLife loves a good slime, doesn't it? If so, visit entry number 7000. If you're interested in continuing to learn about Astrum and related topics, why not visit these entries? Entry number 37, Space Station Star Siege, home to Ipus. Entry number 50, the Urdinal Resource Library. This is my home! Entry number 70, the Tack Line, a mail chain. Entry number 123, the Combined Commonwealth, a brief empire of mice and elephants. Entry number 180, Cathedra, the province of power. Entry number 407, the Kandula Conference, the end of the First Grand Urdinal War. Entry number 600, Julius, one of the destroyed planets. Entry number 601, Proxima, the closest half-planet to Astrum. Entry number 602, Batsy, the archaeological planetoids. Entry number 603, Silex, a rocky planet with a rocky history. Next up, you'll be starting at the beginning of the course an Urdinal overview with entry number 1, the Urdinal systems. You'll learn all about these star systems we call home, from the physical makeup to a study of what creatures live here to a bit about the history. It's a great overview of our home, and based on your previous answers, one that is sorely needed. Typically, we begin with this, but you seemed very eager to learn about Astrum. So now you have. Congratulations! I will speak to you again in a few weeks. Until then, though, be careful what you eat. Many creatures are allergic to nuts.
Wait, what? We have to wait a few weeks?
Yes, that is how my lessons work. Please speak with your actual teacher until then.
But...
Status report?
we have to wait.
Oh, okay. Well, do you know what happened here? Where's Atosonatissimo? Why is Akiva Favovi gone?
Apparently some kind of war. Some creature drove a spaceship into it.
Cats.
The mythical bone crushers? They're real?
They're the bone crushers?
They're the bone crushers!
Bone crushers.
Bone crushers.
Bone crushers!
I'm going to stop listening now. For more information on bones, visit entry number 3,562,946. Bye. Girl, the Guide to the Urdinal Resource Library is written, directed, and produced by Vvinni Gagnepain. The associate producer is Andrew Gingrich. The sound mixer is Stephen Holliger, and music is by Roll Music. Jason Ely is 1, Gabby Monroy is 2, and Kevin Dolan is 6. Follow us on socials. UrdGuide, URD Guide on Instagram and Blue Sky, and send us an email at urdguide@gmail.com. Thanks, and have a great day.